So those of you who are new, welcome. This is the Skyscapito Appreciation Society. We got started a few years ago after the Wild Wonder Nature Journaling Conference. Beth Ann Burton in Australia did a wonderful class for Wild Wonder Conference on Skyscapitos, and we named it that because Jack Laws he calls those little landscapes landscapitos, because they're the little landscapes you put in your journal. So we call ours Skyscapitos, and we focus obviously on skies. So this isn't a workshop. What we try to do is pick a theme and people do something up to, and then we share today. And I think last time I think we're really hitting our stride. Last time seemed to me like one of the best we've ever had, with tons of sharing, good information shared back and forth about colors and different media like pastels and gouache and things like that. So what would be really fun today, let me see if David, did you show up? No. Okay. So David, Lukas and Sarah, are you here? No. Okay. Sarah Reed both loaned us the photos that I put on the Skyscapito page. I just put the link to the Padlet, but most of you I hope were able to go and maybe pick one, and then we're going to share them. I did a video of mine, and I can share with you kind of some of the challenges of what I experienced and some of the mistakes I made. I try to go pretty quickly because I don't want to kill myself with the details. I find that if I take too long, what I do is I overwork it. I just keep going back and going back. And those of you who know watercolor really well know that the surest way to kill a watercolor is to move it around too much, to add too much, to interrupt it a lot. The best watercolors go down and stay there, and maybe you do a little glazing, but you can really mess it up. So I try to okay, you're gonna go fast and just like it. So I'll share my little video, and then we'll go ahead after that. Think about those of you who want to share, get ready. I'll have you do raised hand after this, and then we'll just go through and you'll hold yours up. Don't let me forget to at the end, but as many of us want to, let's hold up our samples so I can share them with David and Sarah. So
that'd be fun.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
So can you guys see my
reference photo?
Yes, so that's David's photo. That's the one I picked. And I really wanted to capture those beautiful apricot purpley colors. So I'm just going to play it. I'll stop and explain some of the mistakes I made. Obviously, it's really speeded up because I think this took me about maybe 15, 20 minutes. And one of the mistakes I made was I didn't let it dry. So I was going too fast. So you'll see. Okay. So I said 10 minutes, but I think it was more like 15. So first I put the clear water where I wanted to drop in the blue. And then I did a manganese blue. Here, I'll slow that down. I did manganese blue for the open sky. And then I wanted the darker bluish tones of the mountain. I used the indanthrone blue, which is a warmer, dark blue, just a very tiny bit of that. And I left open spaces for those bright snowfields. And I tried to leave snow bits at the top, but you'll see what happens. And now with it nice and wet still, I'm dropping in pure quinacridone rose, and then an orangey. And there, I put that in way too early, and I lost the definition there of the mountain. Mm-hmm. So I quickly, slow that down. I quickly, put in the foreground using just pure indanthrone. letting this dry more. And then I brought the definition back with a dark, because I had lost it by going too quickly, and that purple kind of killed my nice ridge line. So then I let that dry and then came back, and I'm adding the shadows and the trees. I just used the pure indanthrone blue with varying hues, just very, very watery or medium, because it's a super dark. And then a little bit of the tree definition, but not too much. And then I dropped in a tiny bit of the pink reflection. And then you can, and then I decided the foreground was too light. So I did that. And then here's the comparison there. So, I lost the sharpness of the mountain. I lost the entire peak, and I actually can go back in with gouache and restore that if I want, that main peak. But otherwise, I think it captured kind of the essence of it really quickly. It's not a complete like studio job. That's not what we want to do. So I thought that was kind of fun. So if I did this over again, I'd probably do a much better job. But that was like first pass, just a very short amount of time. And I thought that was a lot of fun. Beautiful shot. So, all right. So any questions about like my process?
I have a quick question. It's about laying the water down to drop in your color. I'll have my palette sort of set, and then I will lay some water down. And by the time I get back to it, it's like dried. It's either a pool of water or it's dried. Now, where do you find that middle ground?
It is really hard. And what I had to do, and I find that too. And as you saw, I had too much water on that second pass, and that's why the purple just went down. Do a whole bunch of them and try to memorize the sheen. So it's right. Gonna have like 4 or 5 different. First, it's like a complete mirror. Then it's just going to start getting less and less of the sheen. You might have to tip it and look. I find on the paper that I was using, which I don't really like this paper, I'm not going to buy it again. It was super thirsty. So like you, by the time I got there, it wouldn't spread enough. So I had a ton of water. So you have to learn your paper. And I think that's the key, is learning your paper back and like, you got to know, it's like a language, right? It's your paper and your pigments together equal, the vocabulary. So learning to how they fit together best, so you sound articulate, is the best way to think of it. So I couldn't say to you, oh, use this much water, because I don't know what paper you're using. I don't know what pigments and your climate. So one of the things, I was in Alaska when I did this one, so the humidity was sky high. Ironically, it's really high in Tucson right now because we just had 2 inches of rain, which, if you guys don't know, our annual rainfall is 11. Right. So 2 inches of rain in one day.
That's a lot.
So we're soggy. So, but normally in Tucson, I would lay down some paint and it would be like poof, dry in 2 minutes. So I hope that anyone else have any tips for Robin?
I actually have one other question about that. Yeah. Just real quick. So when I'm feel like maybe it's too wet when I'm doing it like this, when I'm dropping it in, and then I turn around and I come back to it, and it's like the edge, like all the pigment like goes to the edge, and I get this dark little line around the edge of when I'm dropping it in. So how do I do that? How do I fix that without actually mucking it all up?
Yeah. We can see anyone else has any tips, but it sounds like you've got more pigment than you need for that particular space.
Okay.
I didn't use hardly any pigment at all when I laid that first blue sky down because I didn't want it to go migrate out. So pigment is going to follow the water. And if you've got some puddles and pools, it's going to go there. It's like the meniscus draws it in or something. I'm not sure why, but, or your paper may not be totally even. And so my paper doesn't lay flat. So sometimes I remember those games where you have a little beaky on the thing. It's like you're going, oh, crap, 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 and you're trying to get the pigment to go where you want it.
Yeah.
So it might be that, but it sounds like you've got more weight. The pigment is just, so try a little bit less pigment. You can always do it again.
Okay.
But let it dry totally in between.
Okay. Thanks.
So, yeah, try that. Okay, so let's use raise hand. Oh, David's here. We were just talking about you. Let me here. David, I'm gonna, and did Sarah show up? Let's see.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm here.
hang on, I'm gonna just a minute here. Oh, I lost David. Come back. I'm gonna spotlight you, David, because I want to introduce you. Okay, there we go. So David's the one who, besides Sarah Reed, loaned us his beautiful photos, and we all enjoyed. So yeah, I was just showing my video of your one of
I saw it. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Fun. And we're gonna be showing some, so you'll see more of yours soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
So
Hi,
David,
everyone.
You're in where? Where are you?
I'm a naturalist and writer based in North Central Washington on the east side of the Cascades, just shy of the Canadian border. So that peak you were just looking at is in the Paceton Wilderness, which is like 500,000 acres of basically untouched wilderness on the Canadian border. They're working on introducing grizzly bears there right now. So that's kind of cool. And there's lynx and wolves and moose.
Wow.
Just miles from my house. So it's a pretty cool spot.
Wow. And so David also, you writes natural history guides, guidebooks to the area. Yeah. So we're really lucky to have him as part of our community.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I'd love to give talks about natural history. So I hope to see some of you here again. Yeah.
So are you going, I just want to ask you, are you going to be launching little short talks that
I am. I'm going to start doing some like 15-20 minute little short nuggets of talks focusing on one feature that people can sketch and journal about. I think the first one will be about bird skulls. So 15-20 minutes on bird skulls and how bird skulls work and what to look for. So I think that'll be the first one in a week or so. So look for that on the Journal Club.
We'll look for that in the Nature Journal Club. And if y'all are not on Facebook, maybe you can record it and put them on your website or something.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put it on my website.
Yeah, so just I do know some people are not on Facebook, but
yeah, sorry about that.
No, I know, and that's I post mine as well because of that. So yeah, so it won't be a class in sketching, it'll be a natural history class that you can sketch. So
sketch journal for, yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And it's fun to share these images too. This is that was the High Cascades. It's the area of North America with the greatest elevational relief. So an incredible landscape. And that's just a peek into it.
I hadn't realized that was the highest elevational gradient from lowest to highest.
I think the average is like 6,000 feet of just gradient from peaks to valley bottoms, just one after another, as far as you can see. Incredible landscape, but very hard to hike in.
And hard to sketch too.
Yeah. Well, I'll share more images with you over time if you're interested. So maybe we can do some summer ones and some fall.
It would be fun to do, like for a year. Let's do a fall one, and
that'd be fun.
Spring,
got lots of great images for you.
Awesome, thanks, David.
Thank you for working with me.
So everybody, use the raise hand feature, which is down at the bottom under reactions. And let's start sharing, and I'll spotlight you, and then at the end we'll have everybody hold up, don't let me forget, their pictures so that we can screenshot that for David and Sarah. Okay. No raise hands, come on. Come on, last time we had like 15 people. I'm gonna have to There we go.
You want us to hold them up? Is that what you want to do?
So use the reactions button down there,
Okay.
raise hand feature, and then I'm going to do one person at a time so we can get you all, like, if you'll explain what you did, and we'll have you spotlighted. And then at the very end, we'll do it all on gallery. But right now, the what we did last time worked really well is individually, I'll spotlight you, share your thing, either hold it up, or if you can do a screen share, that's great too. And tell us a little bit about it and what photo you used. And okay, so here's Mary Lee, and I'm going to get off the stage here. There. So unmute yourself, Mary Lee. I think you're there. Oh, great. Now tell us what you chose and why, and then about your process.
Okay, I chose one of David's, and it was a challenge because doing not only the sky but also the snow and the shadows. But I overworked it, of course, but this is what I did.
So hold it a little closer. There you go. Can you get it even closer? Okay, now up a little bit. Perfect. That's good. Oh, nice. Love that. So I love the shadows on the mountains. I think we tend to forget that actually snow has a lot of shadows. And if you try to make it all white, it's not really all white. It's
No.
lots of reflection.
So I had no idea what I was doing, but it was fun.
So what did you start with?
I started with doing the pinkish color, and then I went back in with the blue gray, and then I did tried to do shadows, and then I just did the bottom part.
Nice.
And then I went back and I put dark on here and messed it up, but
Oh, I don't think
the
so.
learning process.
It's great. And we're not trying to like copy exactly. We're not doing a studio like 8-week long, if we were trying to copy David's, which we wouldn't do without his permission, you would spend tons of time. These are fun, quick, beautiful things that you put in your journals to remind you of a beautiful place.
And what I found was hard was getting the water so you could have the peaks. It would just blend right down in.
That's what happened to me. Yeah. So more practice, isn't it?
Right.
Well, who wants to go next? Use the raise hand reaction button.
I can't find my buttons half the time.
Oh, you want to go next, Robin? I can just make you.
I can, yeah. It
Let me,
might be easier to see on the Padlet, but here's my image. Can you see it?
so hold it up, just up more. Okay, that's good. And I just hold that still. Beautiful colors. Look at that. I love that photo. I'm going to do that one next. That's going to be.
I was trying to get this to be more gray, and it ended up going really towards the violet. And I struggled with this. I really, truly did.
Oh, I think it's great. And I think, so we all have to remember skies are really hard, and getting the subtlety of cloudscapes really takes time. What I like is that you didn't overwork it. You left it, and it's like, own it. It's great. I love the foreground. Everything looks wonderful. And the colors are wonderful. That really popped.
I kind of struggle with getting too much pigment. I think more saturated than it maybe should be, because when I was doing it before, I wasn't getting enough pigment. So it was like really almost like a real soft pastel. And so I'm struggling with finding the happy medium of like not overdoing the color,
Sure. Yeah, that's hard.
And trying to find that glow. But anyway, thank you.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Let's see. Candace is next. Let me spotlight Candace. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
Lovely.
Listen, hold it. It's not wanting to, there we go. I think, can everybody see that? No, a little closer. I think it's good. Yeah, wow, that's beautiful. Fantastic. Tell us about that one.
I started off with your photo, Roseanne, but then I just kind of went off on something completely different because I just had a different idea of what I wanted to do.
Fun. What did you do first? Which
First I sprayed it, and I believe this is canvas. I'm not sure. I think it must be because it's fairly thick, but I got it. It was out of a thrift store journal, so it was something that
Oh.
somebody made. So I have no idea what it's made out of. It's really thick though.
Oh, no,
And
it's like handmade
yeah.
paper, maybe.
I believe it is handmade. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just playing around with different materials. And so I wet the whole thing down, and then I put the yellow in, and then quinacridone red,
Hmm.
and then came up into the sky, and I used a couple different blues, ultramarine deep for the darker shadows, and then another one, Payne's gray for the
Nice.
foreground. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good choice. Nice neutral. Let the sunset take the foreground there. Oh, I mean, take the focus of the photo. That's wonderful. I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
actually like the foreground better than the sky, but I'm working on it.
Oh, oh no, I really like the sky. It looks like an Arizona sunset.
Well, thanks.
Looks like an Arizona sunset or an Alaska sunrise.
Either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Ooh, oh, thank you. I love it. Let's see. Okay, Linda, let's see. Spotlight, don't forget to unmute. Great. Okay,
There.
you're on.
Hi, this is my first time being here, so hello, everyone.
Hi.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. I painted from actually the same image that Mary Lee did, and it's David's picture.
Let's see.
Oh, yes, lovely.
There you go. Nice. Really nice. Oh, I like your trees came out so nice and the colors, so delicate. Wow, that's beautiful. Tell us more about your process. What did you do first?
I only got the paper wet down to the mountain ridge. I penciled them in first. And so when I did the sky, it didn't drop down onto my mountains.
Like me.
Well, I'm a nature journaler, and I'm kind of learning how to paint as I fall in love with things out there in nature. So I'm figuring things out, and I'm having a lot of fun. But so once the sky was dry, I went ahead and put in the trees, and I just was really paying attention that the trees were above the horizon line. So I made sure that they went up into the sky, and then had the band of trees along the bottom.
Nice. Oh, I like that so much. And you know what I just loved what Linda said was having fun and learning as she goes, because that's what we're doing, and just taking away the stress, right? I mean, I think that's why we're all here. Skies are really stressful to do, so it's just fun to have this permission to go out, pay attention, fall in love, and have fun.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful, and that's just terrific. Thank you. This is so fun. I'm gonna Sharon's next, and you're unmuted.
It's nice to be here. I've seen you several times at the Nature Journaling Wild Wonder Conference, and thank you, Roseanne, for being so active. So it's lovely to be participating with this. This
Oh,
is
it's
my
so much
first time
fun.
with
Thank you for being
We
here.
have a nature journaling. We're in Pacifica, California. We have a nature journaling group that are here that are here in Pacifica. So I love your little Skyscapitos. Loved doing John Muir's his landscape pitos, and now this is fun. So I work from my own photograph, and so this is what I work from.
Ooh.
And then this is in Lake Tahoe, a winter sky, lots of snow in Lake Tahoe as we're having rain, lots of rain here in California. And so this is my image. And
Nice.
so I just, one of the challenges I find, Rosanna, maybe you can sometimes, because I would have liked to have had my sky a little darker because my image is a little darker, but I sometimes find that my paint, even though on the bottom, but oftentimes my paint is not as dark as I would like it to be. And so
Mhm.
maybe I don't have enough pigment in there. I'm not sure. So some
What did
comments
you
on
use
that.
for the darks? What was your go-to?
Aquamarine, and I can't remember exactly what I've taken some workshops with Krista Muser, and so whatever her paints are, I was using that palette. So it was kind of a reddish color, and then more of a perhaps an umber of some sort. So
Yeah,
that's what I was
probably an
creating.
umber. I think
Yeah.
it's a matter of so that's a great way to mix grays. They're more beautiful when you mix your own, I think, because then you can get the different tones, like a bluer gray or a browner gray. And so starting with lighter is better. I think if you had tried to match that photo, and everybody else chime in here, then I think it would have gone a little upside down if you had done the sky as dark as that
A
photo.
little dark, yeah.
Yeah, but you could do it a little, you could probably add to that by re-wetting it and just a small amount of the same mixture, darkening a little bit in the center and around, and let it dry, see how that looks. Just
Okay.
glaze over it a little bit. But so you don't get hard edges, you want to wet the whole thing very carefully, not sopping wet. Anyone else have any tips to kind of pull that up? No? Yeah, I would try. It's worth experimenting, and seeing. I had to add a little more on mine by re-wetting it and dropping in more pigment. But don't
Okay.
overdo it, because you can't take it away as
Right.
easily as you
Yeah.
can.
Okay, thank you.
But you can use a tissue to blot it out when it's still wet.
Okay.
And because you're mixing ultramarine and one of the umbers or a burnt sienna, that is a very liftable combination. That's a super fun to use. And those of you who don't know, ultramarine blue is a perfect color for mixing clouds and skies because it's gorgeous grainy. It's got this beautiful texture. So
Thank you.
yeah, keep playing. I can't wait to see more. And it would be fun if you shared your photo on the Padlet. Maybe others can play with your beautiful photo as well. I know I would like to. Who else would like to share? Valerie, I see you. I just barely saw you though. So if I'm not seeing somebody, so I can't see everybody. So if you're waving and I don't see you, that's why. So if you can't find the raise hand, just speak up. This is totally casual. We're not, okay. So Valerie.
Thanks, Roseanne. I didn't find my raise hand icon, so I was reading that too. Well, it's nice to see you. I did meet you at the Nature Journal conferencing about 2 summers ago, and it was fun working with you. And the Skyscapito's workshops were great. We were just painting little small areas of the sky, and that was great. So this last week I was working on a sunrise, and I was working to learn a new technique on kind of stretching paper. And I hadn't known about this technique, but we wet the back of the paper first and then the front, and then it was very, very wet, so you could really drop in color and just let it do whatever it wanted to do. So this is what I came up with, and I just
That
like the
is
color
so fun.
a lot.
So what weight of paper is that? Probably pretty heavy?
Oh, this is just 40-pound paper. I think, let me see, I could tell you in a minute. It's from, I think it's Canson, but it's pretty thick. It's but it's not like Arches paper or anything. It's kind of a lower grade paper, but it was very wet when we started. It's liquid watercolor that I was using.
Nice.
And then this is a different one. It was a fun one to do.
I
Oh, look at
recognize where that
that.
is.
It's
you're
actually a
welcome.
place that's called Rainbow Mountain, and apparently it's in Peru. And when the ice and snow started to melt from it, the minerals were oxidizing, and so it makes all these layers of colored rocks, and the sky was pretty vibrant in the reference photo too, with the purple and the blue. So I'm just having a lot of fun with color. And
That's
the
beautiful.
little people in front were kind of fun to do. They had to be really tiny.
Yeah, that really makes it. Otherwise, you just couldn't tell what that
Yeah,
is.
you don't know what it is. Yeah, so just having some fun with color this week.
Fun. Oh, thank you for sharing, because that's really fun. Candace wrote in the chat, Sharon, I like your interpretation of this. Oh, no, wait, wrong person. Valerie, great tip. Yeah. I never thought about moistening the back. Wonderful. Yeah, that would be interesting. Wonder if you could do that in a journal as well. Probably, if you just put a towel underneath so it doesn't soak all your pages.
Yeah.
That would work. I like
Yeah.
that. Wonderful. Okay, who else wants to go? Come on. Anyone else can't find their button? No. Got more shy people today. Well,
There's
anything else? Oh, there we go. Linda. Yay.
Hi, Roseanne. Yeah, I just started.
Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. I accidentally muted you. I was trying to lower your hand and I slipped. Okay.
Yeah.
Please start over.
Okay. Yeah, I just started coming to the Skyscapito. This is only the second one, and I was not able to do one between last time and this time, but I can show you something I did this summer.
That would be great. Yeah.
Okay. A little backstory. We were along the east side of the Sierra on 395. Pretty much that total time, but in order to get back over to the west side of the Sierra, you have to go over all these passes, right? Anyway, we were coming out of Lee Vining and Mono Lake area, and we were going up this really steep road, and I looked back and I saw this view, and I thought it was just so amazing. It's very pastel-y, but I think you'll be able to see it.
Oh, wow. Yes. Love that. That is a wonderful capture of Mono Lake. I know that drive really well. We love the back side of the Sierras.
Yeah.
It's
And
so nice.
with the at the lake shore there, you see the tufa out in the water.
Uh-huh.
That's this right there.
Yeah.
This
So-
wasn't the south end where they have the tufa fields where you can walk out. This was more headed towards the north end. And so anyway, I just kind of, I sketched it out real quick with a pencil, maybe even used a, might have used this grade lavender.
Yeah, I've started using a lavender pencil.
Because I can't see the non-photo blue pencil anymore.
A
My eyes
lot
are
of
too
people are saying that, and I think
Yeah.
Jack switched
Yeah,
to purple now.
I know. And then so I don't think I actually added the color and anything until we got home, and I used a combination of watercolor, which I have very little experience using,
Yeah.
and also some light, like the shading underneath the clouds here. There's just a very light Tombow pen, light gray.
Oh, okay. There's a good tip then, people. So if you don't know, Tombow pens, they're bigger markers with their soft tips, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So you can
And they
kind of
have-
paint with them more or less.
Yeah, they have two tips. They have a brush on one end, and then one that's more like a not really a Sharpie, but finer.
Yeah, so what a great idea for quick cloud shadows. You don't have to go mixing grays or use, because that was a nice neutral gray.
Yeah, it is
Good.
really pretty.
Good idea.
Oh, it was just simple, kind of spare, but you know,
Yeah,
I
I
got
like-
both. I
like-
got both the islands. I got both the islands in there. This one and this is the one where all the seagulls in California come to nest.
I remember that. Great. Oh, thank you.
So yeah, that was fun.
Thank you, Linda. Anyone else want to share anything you've been working on, new like ideas like, oh, boom, you know, I want to share this. I just discovered something cool. Okay, great. Melanie. I'll do Melanie and then Lisa. So let's see. There we go.
All right. Oh boy, there's a shout. There's a sun thing. Ah, sorry. Where's
got a
that coming?
spotlight.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. Sorry. Let me figure this out. Ah,
It doesn't look too bad if you're off to the side.
I'll go over here. Okay. Oops. Sorry. So
Tilt it the other way.
I am.
Tilt it toward your head.
Wait a minute. See here. Better. Better.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so I'm in Sharon Walker's nature journaling group in Pacifica, and this is one of her photographs.
Nice.
And then I did two different attempts at
Oh, nice.
Nice job.
doing okay
Nice.
that, and that's one, and did not use any of the techniques that you all are talking about, and learned a lot from this conversation about
They look pretty good. I think your
They do.
techniques are pretty good.
so yeah, learned a lot, and I was really frustrated, but
What were you frustrated by?
being able to control the paints
Mm,
for like what I saw versus what was going down on the paper.
yeah.
Yeah, wanting more control. And I think listening to folks, you know, it's I think more about less control and more impressions rather than getting trapped into trying to execute exactly what you see.
Yes, I totally agree. And it took me ages to stop trying to do a complete copy and just being happy with an essence.
Yeah.
And watercolor, so everybody just give yourselves a pat on the back because watercolor is not easy, okay?
Right.
It is a difficult medium. And so we're all like struggling, but that's okay because it's, you know, it's very portable. You know, if we did oils in our journals, you'd be sitting there for 5 hours waiting for it to dry.
Or a year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's fantastic. And watercolor is water plus color plus pigment, and you can control it. And it's really a matter of learning your pigments and your paper and how they go together. And that can take a year or two or more. It's not quick. I know I was expecting it to happen really quickly. And then I realized too, I was bouncing around too much. I was using different paper and different pigments and different color mixes. And I never learned one thing, you know, one set. And then once you master one, then they're like, okay, try a different set of blues and reds and try a different paper. And because when I tried this new paper to me, it took, I didn't like my first ones because I didn't know the language of this paper yet. So keep that in mind. And then I had someone else who wanted to go, but I've
Lisa.
Lisa, there you are. Thank you. Fantastic. Oh, unmute. There we go.
There we go. All right, so this is mine. Let me get it close.
Oh, beautiful. Look at those brilliant colors. Tell us about those colors.
So for the sky, I wet the paper and then I watered down quinacridone rose, really a lot of water, and I splashed it on. And then I dropped in some ultramarine, French ultramarine blue right here.
Yep.
And then I let that dry. And then I came back with some, it's Winsor Newton Violet for the mountains.
Ooh.
And then for the shadows, I just sort of mixed up a really light gray with the French ultramarine and some burnt sienna.
Perfect.
And watered it down quite a bit also. And then the trees are more of like a viridian blue, but I'm not real thrilled with the trees.
You know, what's interesting though, the first thing I noticed is that even if that's not what the eye saw or was even in the photo, David's photo,
Yeah.
there's something about that viridian that makes the whole thing pop.
Really? You think so?
I think so personally. I think the green, the bluey green color, the viridian, makes that purple and everything else just shine more.
Yeah.
I honestly think if you had used like I did with the more dull, warm blue,
Mhm.
it would have backpedaled that image. I love it.
So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I mean, it was fun to try to get the sky in this to match that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that just looks really good.
So yeah, it was fun. And I like what someone said earlier, that it's about playing. You know, I felt like this was just play, you know, let's just see what'll happen.
Yep, that's joyful and very, very fun. Who else? I mean, anyone else kind of, so you don't have to use the exact colors that you're seeing, you know, try experimenting. Maybe I'll redo mine and try a different take on the trees maybe or something. It's really fun to experiment with that. You don't have to do exactly what you're seeing. Who was it? Max Romney just did a psychedelic version of Alaska winter skies using the most crazy colors, and it turned out beautiful. Was it reality? No. But it was really fun. So, well, Anne-Marie, yay. Okay, let's see. Spotlight.
Well, I have to tell you, first, I'm very inspired to go to David's picture. I did not do his work, but David, I'm motivated now. And I'm new to all of this, but I live right by the beach and over here in Morro Bay. And there was an incredible sunset last night. I feel it looks more like a sunrise, the color. So color is something that I'm still working with. So I don't know if you can see that.
Nice. Yes. Boy, you did a great job with the brights.
It was hard. I did try to do a wash of, you know, to try to get that really flat line. That is the edge of the ocean there. And the sun was really brilliant. So you could almost see it as a circle, but it was trying to get, I don't know. And then I tried to go, you know, then it was like, stop and get out of my head. And I think part of it's getting out of my head with it. But I'm still, what I realize is when I step back and I don't do this, you know, for a week or a week and a half, I start losing it.
Yeah.
So it's the practice, you know, it's coming, that builds confidence and it also builds experience. So
absolutely good point. And you did a great job too of like, who else like struggles when you've got the brilliant yellow sunshine and then you've got a blue sky. How do you lay that down without ending up with green?
Right.
That's been my challenge. And so far I've got one pretty green sky. Nice. Thank you for sharing that. That was really, really fun. Okay, Genevieve, let me spotlight you. And
see if I can. Okay. All right. So I didn't do one in advance because I was working. And so I grabbed a postcard and quickly did something, but I really was like that crazy sky.
Hold it up a little higher. There we go.
Yeah, don't look so much at the water. That's totally overworked. I like the sky was just, anyways, it was about a 5-minute slapdash.
fun. And that is actually really good to do. Challenge yourself to just, even set a timer. It's like, okay, let's just do this really fast and not noodle and go back and back and back and back. I like that. I'm going to have to do that myself. I'm not very good at that. I want to go back and keep working on it. Because as much as we say, oh, it's not about the pretty picture, of course, there's that little voice in our head that's like, I want it to be.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So this group is as much about saying, no, we can be, encourage ourselves to embrace whatever we do, even my green sky. So, okay. Is it, how do you say Maeve? Maeve?
Maeve.
Maeve. That's right. You told me that once before.
Okay, so I'm the odd man out here because I didn't pay attention to what was going on with the Skyscapito Society since forever. But you were talking about doing odd things and gold suns. So I just wanted to share what my sisters and I did at Christmas time. There's a thing called a event calendar.
Yeah.
I haven't actually finished it because I wasn't home for Christmas. And what we did was we made prompts for every day of the calendar. It goes through December 25th. And we had to do the prompt with the ink color for that day.
Oh, fun.
So I had one day that has a sky in it. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and share. And I'm not an artist or anything. My sisters both are, and I kind of go along for the ride. But the color that day was cardinal. And so I thought, well, that'll make a nice like morning sun. So I did a sunrise, but if you can see the gold sun, it's kind of glittery. Because for Christmas, my sister gave me this set of colors that are iridescent. So it was kind of fun trying out the iridescent gold to make the sun. I don't know if you can see how it's.
Oh yeah,
we can.
Don't look at the other things.
That's fabulous. And you are an artist. Everyone here is an artist. There is no such thing as not an artist. We call ourselves, yeah, you are what you want to be. So that was fabulous. Well, the Advent, tell me about the Advent calendar. So someone went through and made an Advent calendar for prom.
I should be able to tell you who did it because this is the second year we've done it. This is this year's, and then last year's was red. It's diamine ink. It says, and I can't remember where we got it. We ordered it online.
Okay, I'm sure we can Google it.
It's very high quality ink. Here's the swatches I've done for the ink so far this year. And of course,
okay, so Mary Larson says diamine ink vent calendar is what it's called. So yeah, we can Google that.
That's right, Mary. My sister told you about that, I think. And do you remember who we ordered it from? Did you? I don't know if you ordered it or not, but anyway, we didn't realize until most of the way through that the inks have certain qualities. And some of them are called chameleons, so they kind of change colors. Some of them are shimmer, and I don't know if I have one that'll show that I didn't use that actual shimmery ink on or shimmery watercolor on. I don't, because I didn't realize
like so much fun
that it glittered. Yeah, it was really neat. Okay, so here's one. I was kind of short on ideas for what to do for midnight, so I just did a blob, but I don't know if you can see that the way the ink changes color. Maybe not.
Very pearlescent.
Not showing up real well. But anyway, it's a really cool set of inks, and it's just been a lot of fun to play with. And we do these prompts, and I don't spend a lot of time on it, but I could see how experimenting with these inks, like you all were saying, just having fun with them, you could really do a lot with the ink. And then I add what, do watercolor with it if I can't, do the whole thing in ink.
That's fun. Okay, that gives us an idea for something next December, right? So got a couple of good tips in the chat here. Valerie, do you pronounce it Cornier? I probably killed your last name. I'm sorry.
It's Canoyer. If you were in Canada, you'd say Cornwall, I think.
Okay.
But we're in Connecticut, so we say Canoyer.
Okay, nice.
But these are the Neo color and they crayons, and they come in all different colors, and it just gives a lot of texture, and you get it wet and you paint with it. And this is an example, these mountains, the purple mountains, are an example of what you can get from just painting with those crayons. Gives you more texture.
So they are watercolor, water soluble wax pastel.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're called, this one's Karen de Arch, and they're Neo color.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
I never used them before. They were fun.
Thank you. And then Valerie has a great tip for avoiding green skies as you grade, she says, grade the yellow and blue washes to be very pale where they meet, and then lay in a very pale wash of a neutral brown, such as sepia or umber, and the brown will cancel out the pale green that would result. Sweet. I can't wait to try that one. Nice. Anyone else? I think we're kind of nearing the end of our hour. We should probably talk about maybe ideas for next time in February. I probably won't be running or even here. I have a Baja Field Arts boot camp, and
we feel so bad for you.
Yeah, I know someone has to go. So I don't think I'll be here, but Beth Ann and Deborah should be. We're thinking the end of February. Any ideas for what we could cover? Someone suggested asking Avery. I don't think she made it today. No, she didn't. Avery Gunter demonstrating her pastels spacescapes. If you guys have seen her work,
Yes.
depicting the night skies, planets, things like that, using pastels on black paper.
Right.
That would be one. Any other ideas? Well, you could put it in Padlet. We have a section in Padlet. There's a column for ideas. I think it's the first column, maybe the second, I can't remember, but throw that in there, and we'll think of some other themes too. And just I'm enjoying having some photos and practicing off that and seeing what everybody does. That's been fun. But if you think of anything else, put that in the ideas Padlet column. Let's see, I'm looking at someone put a link to the Inkvent calendar in the chat, so be sure to grab that.
Let's not forget to take the picture of everybody holding up there.
Thank you. I would have totally
You're
forgot.
welcome.
Okay. Those of you who did right. Hang on. I have to look up real quick. I want to do the screenshot, but I have to figure out how to do it and hold up my image. Because screenshots take two hands. Let's see. How am I going to do that? Hold on. I have to. Does anyone know on a Mac how you do screenshot with one hand? No. Hang on. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to look it up. Screenshot Mac.
Yeah, it's Command Shift and 3.
Yeah, I have to try to do it with one hand.
Yeah, you could do it with one hand, your thumb, and then Shift, and then 3.
Finger salute.
This is like playing the violin. Yeah, that worked. Okay, thank you. All right. Everybody hold up. Now I have to make sure I get mine right. Everybody who's gonna do it, Command Shift 3. Do another, oh, there's someone late. Okay, I'm waiting. You're not in focus. Let's see. Is that? There we go. Now you're in focus. Over to your right or your left. There we go. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Yay. I felt like I was doing my violin again. Okay. That was fun. Okay, everybody. Well, it's a fun way to start our weekend. So
Yeah.
anyone coming to the Around the World in 80 Trees tomorrow?
Get some waves.
Yay, that's going to be fun. I have fun with that one. You know what? When I first started that one, I was like, nobody's going to be into this. And now it's like really a thing. And I feel like I can do trees now like that.
Awesome.
Hey, Rosie.
Can I just comment on your honeycomb today? Was just brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I
Isn't
love
it
the way
awesome?
you did the little cutaway of the actual detail, but yet you had the gestalt of it all just so beautiful with all the little tiny hints of the comb. It was just beautiful.
Thank you. Oh, what she's talking about is I drew this.
Oh, that's got to smell so good.
It does.
Oh,
It smells
yeah.
like honey. So we cut this out of a tree after a bee swarm built a hive last spring, and then they abandoned it when it got cold. And so my husband and I are both nature nerds. So of course we running down the street with a ladder, sawing it off. Neighbors just thinking, who are these weirdos? So yeah, it was super fun to draw. I'm gonna hang it from my ceiling.
Oh, that's going to be nice when it gets warm in there and it smells
Yeah.
so good.
I want to dissect part of it to see what's inside. So I'll probably pull out part of it just to see. Thank you very much, Robin. That was
Can
very
I
nice.
link to the Padlet? I'm sorry to interrupt, but can,
Oh, sure. Let me put that in again.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if you can't find that ever, just go to my website. It's exploringoverland.com/Skyscapito, and everything's on there. So if you ever get lost, go back to there and you can find everything. That's where all the Padlet's on there, all the recordings, everything, and upcoming. So we're going to aim for maybe around the 24th, 25th. We're not sure what day yet of February for the next one, but kind of earmark that. And yeah, probably won't see you.
Very good.
Okay, thank
I
you.
hope you have a
everybody.
blast.
Oh, it should be. We're so excited. It's been about 20 years since we've been to Baja. My husband used to run sea kayaking tours, and we would go every once in a while. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So
yeah.
And
awesome.
whales. And we'll see whales. All right, everybody. Yeah. Thank you for coming. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, David, for sharing your picture.
Yeah, thank you.